Let's discover the universe with supercomputing power. Now, we can explore Mars in class. With a vision to bring digital to every person, home, and organization, together with our partners, Huawei is building the Horizon digital platform and ecosystem, integrating new ICT technology and bringing an intelligent world to life through digital transformation. This isn't magic. It's intelligent finance, envisioning business opportunities. You'll never miss a moment in the high-speed world of investing. This isn't science fiction. It's intelligent transportation, linking vast distances, connecting business centers, suburbs, and the outskirts. A city's blueprints can redefine efficiency for everyone. This isn't fantasy, it's reality. Intelligent campus and intelligent city are on the rise. With intelligent brains that think on their own. This isn't the future. This is now. Hi, intelligent world.
Hello, and welcome to Huawei's Industrial Digital Transformation Conference 2020. Given global concerns over the coronavirus outbreak, the GSMA took the decision to cancel MWC 2020. And at this time, our thoughts are with all those who are affected and facing hardship right now. So we all know that this is a situation that none of us expected to be in. But we're glad that you're taking the time to join us today. Innovative ICT, new technologies, big data, and AI are all being deployed right now to help the world search for answers to the current situation. And across this vast country, where I'm speaking to you from today, China is about to start the world's largest experiment in distance learning as schools remain shut. This is the time, then, for our industry to step up. Okay, let's kick things off. This conference, as you probably realize, is being held virtually. While I'm here in Shenzhen, China, at Huawei's HQ, we have guests joining us from all over the world. The speakers you're about to hear from, too, are spread across the globe. But all of us are commonly connected through ICT, sharing the same virtual space, even though we're physically separated. Incidentally, that's why I don't need to wear a mask. We're joined together, but also safely apart. Okay, in today's keynotes, we're focusing on digital transformation across industry. We're going to explore the progress that has already been made in digital transformation, as well as the opportunities and challenges that come with the intelligence and the data flows of the 5G era. We're standing in the intelligent world of 2020, but what might it look like in 2030? This is the question that Vice President of Huawei Enterprise, Ma Yue, is about to explore.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digital Transformation Summit. First of all, on behalf of Huawei, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. Today, I want to share 4 topics with you, which will help us move toward the intelligent world of year 2030 together. The new connectivity, new computing, new platform, and new ecosystem. The year 2020 has arrived. We now stand at the start of a new decade. Let's imagine what the world will look like at its close as year 2030 begins. Today, both perception and interaction between people and things are based on various physical measures. But in the future, the new ICT, such as 5G, AI, and IoT, will help us build an information flow from which everything originates. Simply put, the whole world will have intelligence. We believe that this intelligent world of year 2030 will have at least 5 features. From the government aspect, people-oriented digital governments will be built to better adapt to people's livelihoods. From the economic aspect, a dynamic labor force will bring considerable advantages. For instance, intelligent robots will play a critical role in our economic development. From the social resources aspect, digital technologies will enable the efficient sharing and the proper distribution of education, healthcare, and the other public resources, achieving digital fairness. For the cultural aspect, people will be freed from heavy physical labor and tedious repetitive work, and their focus will naturally shift from mere material value to mental value. Finally, in terms of the environment, thanks to the development of various digital technologies, we will be able to monitor and control the carbon emissions more effectively and, as a result, make the world a better place to live. As a matter of fact, digital transformation has been ongoing for a considerable period of time. But if we are to create an intelligent world by year 2030, we must turn the heat up further and push for extensive digital transformation in all industries. There are 3 new situations in digital transformation. First, new business trends. In the future, 2B and 2C businesses will merge, bringing infinite possibilities. Second, new opportunities. With the in-depth development of digital transformation, OT and IT convergence will become the key. Currently, OT and IT convergence is advancing at an increasing speed, but there's still a long way to go. Last but not least, new requirements. Customers now need scenario-oriented solutions instead of just technical solutions. New connectivity, new computing, new platform, and new ecosystem. Taken together, this will build a solid foundation for the intelligent world of year 2030, enabling the intelligent development of diverse industries, including the cities, manufacturing, energy, finance, transportation, and so on. The next decade will witness the rapid development of new ICT. 5G and AI will be widely applied. 6G, brain simulation, and quantum computing will develop at pace. Intelligent scenarios such as automatic driving, virtual office, and nursing robots will dramatically change how we work and how we live. As digital transformation continues to develop at speed, in the future, everything will be connected, perceived, and intelligent. This places new requirements on connectivity. The new connectivity will center on 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and other advanced communications technologies. In the next decade, we believe that quantum communications will develop rapidly and possibly be put into real-world use. The new connectivity will bridge the physical and the digital worlds, laying a solid foundation for the development of the intelligent world. Based on ultra-broadband and high-speed networking, the new platform aligns with new technology will enable digital transformation and boost the innovation in various industries. In the intelligent world of 2030, computing will play an important role in diverse intelligent service scenarios. The new computing will offer a full-stack all-scenario solution that covers bottom layer chips right up to upper layer algorithms, spanning from consumers to industries. We believe that heterogeneous computing, such as optical computing, quantum computing, and DNA storage, might be our way to solve the problem posed by Moore's law. Therefore, it should be one of the main directions for new computing development. But the new computing also requires an open ecosystem to achieve ubiquitous intelligence. Digital transformation is indispensable to various industries. The new platform will be convergent, shared, and digital, and as such, it will play a key role in enabling the digital transformation of industries. Huawei has leveraged its digital transformation practices and worked with customers and partners to build the Horizon digital platform based on the cloud. This new platform optimized and integrates multiple new ICT, such as big data, IoT, machine vision, convergent communications, and GIS. Various new technologies can be flexibly deployed as components, lowering the technical threshold for their usage. In this way, customers are freed to focus on their own unique advantages and service innovation during the process of digital transformation, without having to pay significant attention to the underlying complexity of ICT. The basic feature of the new platform is openness. It provides an easy-to-use deployment environment and various kits for third-party developers, enabling them to work more efficiently and innovate further and further. Our goal is to build a diversified ecosystem based on the new platform to facilitate the digital transformation of industries. On the road to the intelligent world of year 2030, thinking about enterprise digital transformation, the new technologies will bring new challenges as well as new requirements. No single existing ICT vendor can solve all such kind of challenges nor meet all requirements alone. Therefore, a new ecosystem is required, the one that provides comprehensive customer-oriented solutions. In the process of building this new ecosystem, we propose the SAPO model, an ecosystem construction methodology based on the enterprise business strategy, architecture, policy, and operations that we call SAPO. The new ecosystem consists of 7 types of partners: sales partners, solution partners, service partners, investment, financing, and operation partners, talent analysis partners, social partners, and industry partners. Traditionally, ecosystem players are only linked together by sales. This new ecosystem features a field of expertise plus multiple skills, and it promotes the extensive integration of all players. Now, let's watch a video footage to see what the intelligent world of year 2030 looks like.
In the Intelligent World 2030, digital government adapts to people's livelihoods. A dynamic and multidimensional labor force, blending human insight with robotics, AI, and more, becomes a key factor in production. People's focus shifts beyond material wealth, and digital means achieve digital equity and fairness, as well as taking control of the metabolism the very health of the Earth. New connectivity, new computing, new platform, new ecosystem. These build the foundation of the Intelligent World 2030. New connectivity, 5G-based communications technologies enable ubiquitous connectivity and all-domain perception. New computing, from silicon computing to optical computing and quantum computing, from all-flash to DNA storage. An open computing ecosystem enables pervasive intelligence. New platform. The ongoing accumulation of industry experience into a converged digital platform, which can be inherited, ultimately enabling digital innovation in all industries. New ecosystem. The SAPO-based collaborative ecosystem provides more comprehensive customer-oriented commercial solutions. Welcome to the Intelligent World 2030, intelligent, green, and resolutely people-oriented.
The intelligent world of year 2030 requires the digital transformation of diverse industries. Let me introduce how Huawei helps our customers such as government, manufacturing, chemical engineering, and subway transport industries achieve their successful digital transformation through the new connectivity, new computing, new platform, and new ecosystem. Huawei has been working in the smart city field for many years and is now serving more than 200 cities in over 40 countries across the world. With the digital platform as its core, Huawei's smart city solution covers multiple scenarios, including the city operation center, disaster management, and traffic management. One of the key objectives of digital transformation is to maximize the value of big data. The City Operation Center is a place where we can achieve this goal, acting as the nervous center of the smart city. With the support of new ICT, including AI and GIS, the Operation Center visually displays information, offers various useful applications, and provides intelligent analysis functions to assist decision-making. With years of experience in the wireless technology field, Huawei optimized the base station to achieve more accurate and efficient geographic location information, improving the accuracy of city operation and city management. The traditional manufacturing industry, like all other fields, has begun to implement digital transformation on a growing scale. Indeed, products are no longer dictated by manufacturers, but controlled by consumers. And consumers now require not just only the products, but also the services. To adapt to this new trend, manufacturers need to have flexible manufacturing models, which are in turn a key driver of digital transformation in this particular industry. The core of flexible manufacturing lays in the flexible scheduling of production lines. AGVs and industrial robots decouple production lines and implement the simultaneous production of multiple types of products. Wireless connectivity is the underlying foundation of flexible manufacturing. During industrial production, many processes have strict requirements for network connection. For example, to ensure the 6-9 reliability in production, that is 99.9999%, the network latency must be stably lower than 5 milliseconds. Bandwidth must also be sufficient to comfortably support 8K video. 5G is more than equipped to meet all these requirements, now making flexible manufacturing a reality. Operational safety is one of the major challenges that the chemical engineering industry faces. The top priority for digital transformation in this industry is the use of digital technology to improve the production safety and efficiency. Huawei has worked with leading global chemical engineering enterprises to develop scenario-specific solutions. For example, 5G and autonomous driving, when they integrate, help enterprises safely transport hazardous chemicals, saving manpower and ensuring the safety. Elsewhere, the combination of 5G and AI allows experts to be remotely on-site, neatly solving the issue of the shortage of senior engineers and greatly improve the efficiency and productivity of the equipment maintenance. Faster construction, larger passenger capacity, engineering safety, and operational safety are the common concerns shared by all the subway transport companies. Based on the technologies such as 5G, machine vision, and big data, Huawei and subway industry customers have developed intelligent operation and maintenance, intelligent construction site, and intelligent vehicle management solutions, offering the improved subway construction, operations, maintenance, and management. These solutions help subway companies remotely monitor operations, detect the risks in advance, reduce the security incidents, release the value of service data, and lead service innovation in this industry. For years, Huawei and our ecosystem partners have been committed to driving digital transformation in various industries. We have helped many customers achieve successful transformation in fields such as public sector, smart city, smart campus, energy, financing, transportation, and manufacturing. We are honored to play our part in this period of momentous intelligent development. Let's join hands to move towards the intelligent world of year 2030 and create a brilliant new intelligent era defined by four things: new connectivity, new computing, new platform, and new ecosystem. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Hello again. So in 2030, an important part of the intelligent world will be the way digital government is better adapted to people's lives. How will that look in practice? And how is digital transformation impacting governments across the world today? We're going to hear some thoughts around this question and more, direct from Switzerland, which is where Dr. Aladin Rillo, Deputy Secretary General of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, currently is.
Okay, thank you so much, and good morning to all. I'm very delighted to be part of this conference organized by Huawei on Digital Transformation Conference 2020. The issue of digital transformation has been the focus of attention in ASEAN since 2017, when our leaders recognized the need for the region to be prepared in embracing the fourth industrial revolution or the digital transformation. And since then, we have implemented a number of initiatives to support the region's digital transformation. For example, last year, under the chairmanship of Thailand, we have implemented some initiatives, including, for example, the action plan to implement the digital integration framework. We also have the ASEAN Declaration on Industrial Transformation to Industry 4.0, as well as the development of the ASEAN Innovation Roadmap. This year, under the chairmanship of Vietnam, the focus on the 4IR has been also very important, in a sense that there will be a number of initiatives to be also implemented this year to support the digital transformation of the region, including, for example, the development of 5G ecosystem, the development of standards to support smart manufacturing, as well as the network on ASEAN innovation centers in the region. That's why I think this particular topic has been very timely and very appropriate. It is timely because it comes at a time when ASEAN region continues to be challenged by all these different digital technologies, which in a way also reshape the governments, businesses, as well as consumers in the region, and eventually also affect their lives. That's why I think this is also a very appropriate occasion to discuss how the region, in particular ASEAN, should be able to take advantage of this digital transformation that is happening right now. So in my presentation, what I intend to do is to talk about mainly the challenges as well as the opportunities being provided by this digital transformation in the region. Then I will talk about the different initiatives that we have implemented so far to support this increasing digitalization. And finally, I'll talk about also the way forward for the region in terms of how the region should position itself to be able to take advantage of all the different benefits being provided by this digital transformation. So let me begin. First, when we talk about ASEAN, I think one thing that is important to highlight here is that ASEAN is a big and dynamic market. In terms of GDP, for example, as of the latest estimate, the whole region, the entire economy is around $3 trillion US, and we are representing around 3.6% of the global GDP. Over the years, this growth has been very robust. Our average growth over the last 10 years was around 5.4%, which very much exceeded also the global average of around 4%. I think this increasing dynamism of ASEAN has something to do with our very strong external orientation. For example, if you look at trade of ASEAN with the rest of the world, total trade in the region amounted to around $3.6 trillion. This is the combined trade in goods as well as trade in services. ASEAN also is the third largest recipient of foreign direct investment in the region. Definitely, China plays a very important role in this trade integration of the region, in a sense that China right now is the largest trading partner of ASEAN, as well as the third largest source of foreign direct investments into our region. In terms of digital transformation, ASEAN stands well on the brink of this industrial or digital revolution. This revolution is about automation, it is about digitalization, and also a new wave of innovation triggered by advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, the power of computing, as well as explosion in big data. I think we are all aware that the technologies under the 4IR are definitely much bigger in terms of scope as well as in terms of scale, and they are definitely more complex as well. These technologies are overlapping and multiple. They are creating synergies and also accelerating outcomes. I think what's very important to highlight here is that if you look at these different technologies will definitely bring a lot of opportunities and challenges for the region. That's why it is very important that the region is able to manage these different technologies. In 2019, for example, last year, digital economy in ASEAN stood at around $100 billion US. This size is definitely more than 4 times the size of our digital economy 4 years ago. It is expected that by 2025, the size of ASEAN digital economy will be around $300 billion. And I think that is something really huge in terms of the potentials of this digital transformation. In fact, already, if you look at the region, there are many ASEAN-based companies that are very much involved in these advanced technologies. They are either investors or innovators or even enablers of these technologies. In terms of the composition of the digital economy, Singapore definitely stands ahead, is way ahead in terms of automation in the region, whereas Indonesia is the leader in terms of the application of artificial intelligence, okay, in businesses and in the government. According to the IMF, ASEAN countries, if you look at ASEAN countries as a whole, we are actually at the frontier of technological development compared to countries in other regions given at the same level of per capita GDP. This means that even countries in ASEAN with lower per capita GDP, the potential for digitalization is actually higher, and in fact, it is also actually increasing. Despite the fact that this transformation offers a lot of benefits for ASEAN, the reality is that this digital transformation has been very challenging for many countries in the region. For the simple reason that if you look at ASEAN as a region, countries have different levels of readiness to embrace the fourth industrial revolution. For example, our internal assessment suggests that countries such as Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand are the most ready in terms of embracing the fourth industrial revolution or this digital transformation. In a sense that these countries have the production structure as well as the production drivers of production that are very much compatible with the requirements of the digital economy. This also suggests that these countries that I've mentioned earlier have a very solid economic base, as well as these countries are very much well positioned in terms of how they can prepare themselves for the fourth industrial revolution or the digital transformation. In a sense that these countries are very much ready to implement technology and innovation, to develop more human capital, to develop more regulatory frameworks, to establish physical infrastructure, as well as to sustain their growth that would support this digital transformation. Obviously, as expected also, countries that are low in terms of economic base and drivers of production, such as Cambodia, Myanmar, and Lao PDR, these countries will still have to do a lot more in terms of preparing themselves to embrace the fourth industrial revolution. Nonetheless, if you look at again the benefits of this digital transformation, I think it is very obvious that digital transformation, or the 4IR, will bring a lot of tremendous opportunities for countries in ASEAN. Particularly, for example, in terms of how big data or Internet of Things, for example, can increase productivity of businesses across countries in the region. Or in general, in terms of how these different technologies can also promote the productivity, okay, of countries within the region. If you look at what's happening right now in the region, there is a strong evidence that these digital technologies have already created a lot of impact, okay, into the countries in ASEAN, particularly looking at the evidence or the growth of e-commerce and financial technologies in our region. For example, there is a lot of e-commerce platforms that are now existing in the region that support e-commerce. Similarly, financial technologies have been very supportive in terms of facilitating payments, as well as ensuring that the region or these different technologies are able to increase the access to financial services that are very important for our development. These things are definitely happening right now. But the problem is that despite all these benefits that I mentioned earlier, these different technologies also have their adverse effects. For example, it is inevitable that jobs are going to be displaced as automation increases. It is also possible that there will be some kind of inequality resulting from these technologies, particularly if the digital technologies are not distributed well. Finally, it is also possible that these technologies are very much vulnerable to cyber and physical attacks that can also create a lot of disruption in every economy. I think this is the reason why it is very important that countries are able to manage all these digital technologies. And this is the first point that I would like to highlight. In this digital era, while different technologies present a lot of opportunities, they are also presenting a lot of challenges to the countries themselves. Therefore, the ability to manage these technologies is very critical. And I think this is somehow what we can do in the region, managing these different technologies that I mentioned earlier is critical in a sense that these technologies present a lot of opportunities in order for countries to be able to reap all these digital dividends that are very important, okay, to take advantage of the opportunities provided by this digital transformation. In my view, technologies are supposed to empower us and not the other way around. And in order to achieve this, I think it is very important that these technologies are distributed well across countries, across communities, in every country, in every region. It is also very important that no one is left behind in terms of the ability of countries to engage all different stakeholders into the system. And finally, it is also very important that these technologies are being deployed well and equitably. But the reality also is that if you look at what's happening in the region right now, the fact is that countries are not alone in terms of being able to take advantage of these digital technologies. This brings me to my second point in terms of the importance of coordinated action and cooperation among different stakeholders. We have to recognize that in the digital era, there are different stakeholders involved. These are the governments, the businesses, the different consumers, okay? But I think it's a question of to what extent the different stakeholders work together in order that they can use these different technologies and align these technologies to the benefits of each individual person in the economy, as well as the countries in general within the region. If you look at what's happening right now within ASEAN, for example, countries in the region have recognized, meaning the different governments in ASEAN have recognized, the need to fully engage or to embrace these different technologies in the region. This is very much evident in the way, for example, governments have been implemented a number of policies to support digitalization, in the way countries are able to implement a lot of strategies and development plans to further promote digital transformation. For example, within the region, countries have been able to revamp their educational system in order to ensure that the skills as well as the training are there to be aligned to the requirements of these different technologies. Similarly, countries in ASEAN have been able to invest a lot in terms of improving the regulatory frameworks as well as building the right infrastructure to support the digital economy. In some cases also, countries have been able to develop a number of policies to address issues that might arise from this digital transformation, particularly the possible impact, of this digital transformation on society, on labor and an environment. All of these are being taken care of already. Therefore, the ability of the region to work together, I think, is very critical in this case. And one way to do that is for different countries within the region to work together, for example, to come up with a common approach in terms of how to develop the region or different countries within the region towards this digital transformation. In the case of ASEAN, this is very much evident. Regional cooperation in ASEAN has been very strong. And one of the important objectives of this cooperation is to ensure that the region is being able to adapt to these changing dynamics, okay, that is happening within the region as well as in the global economy. And in my view, digital transformation is one of such a goal for the region to make sure that we are able to take advantage of this digital transformation. For example, within the region, we have, as I mentioned earlier, over the years implemented a number of initiatives to support this digital transformation. One very good initiative here is the e-commerce agreement that was signed last year. This particular agreement tries to position ASEAN countries in terms of how different countries in ASEAN can take advantage of this increasing e-commerce, okay, in the region. Also last year, we have implemented or we have developed this ASEAN Digital Integration Framework that tries to identify policy areas that countries should focus on in order for them to become successful in engaging in this digital era. These policy areas pertain to areas that promote seamless trade, policies that pertain to facilitating digital payments. There are also policies that look at data protection and how we can, for example, develop the right human capital to be able to take advantage of this digital transformation. Also last year, we've been able to develop the ASEAN framework on digital data governance. This particular initiative is very important because it tries to identify how the region can further support the development of a data ecosystem, how we can further support that by, for example, strengthening the regulatory frameworks as well as the innovation system that would support this data ecosystem in the region. For example, within the region right now, there are initiatives to support data classification in the region, to support data privacy, as well as to support greater cross-border flows of data within and across countries in the region. Also, in the other sides and the other pillars of the ASEAN community building, there are also efforts within the region to strengthen cybersecurity. We have, for example, the ASEAN or cybersecurity cooperation that puts a lot of emphasis on how the region can further strengthen cybersecurity in this digital era. And at the same time, we recognize that digital transformation does not only affect the economy, but it also affects, more importantly, the people. Therefore, we have to recognize that in this digital era, we have to make sure that the people are well prepared. Therefore, the ability to build the human capital is very important here, particularly in terms of addressing other vulnerabilities that might arise from countries' ability to engage or embrace these digital technologies. For example, we have an initiative that tries to promote the future of work in a digital era in terms of encouraging countries within ASEAN to develop the right skills in terms of reskilling, upskilling, and identifying new skills that would help countries in the region adapt to these technologies. Moving forward, I think, in my view, the ability of ASEAN to become successful in this overarching digital transformation would involve a lot of regional cooperation, a lot of cooperation among different stakeholders in ASEAN. Within the region, I think it is also very important that we look at new initiatives that promote digital transformation. Currently, we have initiatives that try to look at the development of the 5G ecosystem. We have initiatives right now also that try to develop standards that promote smart manufacturing, as well as the development of this network of ASEAN innovation, because we always believe that innovation is very critical in this digital transformation. And at the same time, currently, ASEAN is now in the process of developing a consolidated strategy that would try to guide the region in terms of how the region should position itself in embracing this digital transformation. This strategy is very critical because it would provide a more concrete direction for the region on what initiatives that we need to develop to be able to take advantage of this digital transformation. But in my view, I think a more important consideration here is to what extent the private sector can play a very important role. And this is the last point that I would like to emphasize. In this digital era, in this largely increasing digital transformation in the world and in the region, I think we have to make sure that the private sector can play a very important role. In my view, the private sector or the businesses are very important to be able to identify, to be able to develop the right technologies that can support this digital transformation. This is very important in the case of to what extent, for example, ASEAN can fully embrace the digital transformation. In my view, governments alone will not be able to achieve such transformation. We have to make sure that the markets are very much involved into this digital transformation. For example, we might need the businesses, the private sector to be able, for example, develop the right technologies, develop the right infrastructure, for example, the connectivity to support this digital transformation. We need the private sector to build the ecosystem, the innovation ecosystem that again tries to contribute to this development of our innovation as well as greater digital transformation. I think businesses, the private sector, has a bigger role to play in terms of developing big data, for example. That is very important in the way these technologies will impact the people. So overall, in my view, digital transformation is already here. From the perspective of different governments, in particular in the case of ASEAN countries, digital transformation is no longer an option. It is actually an imperative that each country in the region has to do. But to be able to become successful in embracing this digital transformation, countries should be able to develop the right policies, the right frameworks, the right regulations to support digital transformation. But at the same time, considering that the world is increasingly become more integrated, we have to make sure that there is a strong support of all countries together. We have to make sure that there is a strong partnership, there's a strong coordination, there's a more coordinated action among countries in the region. And in the case of ASEAN, that is exactly what we're trying to do. ASEAN very much support the digital integration. Therefore, opportunities to engage with the private sector like Huawei is for us a very good opportunity in the sense that while we recognize the importance of policies, we also very much recognize that to become successful in this digital transformation, we very much need the support of the private sector, particularly the markets. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. The fifth busiest airport in mainland China and an early adopter of smart airport technology, Shenzhen Bao'an Airport is centrally positioned in the newly envisioned Greater Bay Area, encompassing Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and Hong Kong. Let's hear from Zhang Li Shun, Director of the airport's digitalization, on the impact of digital transformation and intelligence for the airport in terms of efficiency, operations, and the passenger experience.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zhang Lixuan, Director of Digitalization of Shenzhen Bao'an International Airport Group. Today, I want to share with you how Shenzhen Airport has carried out digital transformation and implementing smart airport construction. As the fifth largest airport in China, the total throughput of Shenzhen Airport exceeded 2 billion in 2019, with over 5 million international travelers, and a growth rate of international travelers remained above 30% for the past 3 years. Sharing the city's innovation genes, Shenzhen Airport has also focused on promoting the in-depth integration of new technology and service, improving operational efficiency, and creating a better travel experience for passengers. As a partner of IATA's Future Airport and the Next project, we took advantage of the high-tech environment in Shenzhen and dedicated to build the most digital integrated airport in China. To achieve this goal, we have already made 2 phases of investment with a total of 1.1 billion RMB in nearly 100 smart airport projects. We adopt a people-centric philosophy for our smart airport project with passengers' needs, requirements, and service experience as our top priority. This is not about constructing an isolated system. Instead, building a smart airport is a comprehensive and systematic project. Our mission is to explore and pioneer a new way of building smart airport in China. Our approach can be summarized in 6 new steps. The first is establish new ideas. Ideas guide our action. We create 3 new ideas during our exploration: overall transformation, strategy-led approach, and high-quality construction. For our digital transformation, we draw out a comprehensive smart airport construction plan to systematically reform our organization, system, and process. Firmly adhering to a strategy-led approach is our way to achieve success. The strategy of the Shenzhen Airport can be simply summarized in 5 words. That is passenger, cargo, airport city, talent, and intelligence. We list intelligence among our top 5 strategies. High-quality construction means that we invest heavily to carry out large-scale construction and build a high-quality project as an effort to build smart systems that are easy to manage and use. The second new is to a new blueprint. The blueprint is a guide with a vision of building an airport that offers the best digital experience. We plan, build, and implement new ICT infrastructure in a unified and step-by-step manner. We integrate resource, data, and applications based on the Huawei Horizon Digital Platform and Cloud Network Synergy ICT architecture. We have built 4 service systems. That is solid security, extensive operation control, comprehensive service, and refined management, as well as designed the overall framework and technical architecture of the smart airport. The next is build a new platform and apply new technology. The platform is the foundation, and the technology are pillars. This slide shows the overall technical architecture of our smart airport. The architecture consists of 3 layers. The bottom layer is the network, including 5G, optical network, and Wi-Fi. We use it to connect every person, vehicle, and everything in the physical world to the digital world in the airport. The middle layer is a Horizon Digital Platform. This is also the core of the entire technical architecture. We have already built an integrated platform and 6 basic platforms based on it. The 6 basic platforms are big data, AI, video, converged communication, GIS, and IoT platform. They encapsulate complex new technologies that are used in the airport. The integrated platform offers a channel for smooth information interaction among internal and external systems. This allows application to easily obtain new technological capability for flexible service innovation. The top layer, also known as the application layer, includes several critical solutions, such as one map for airport operation, one network for airport security, and one ID for passenger. By now, we have deployed more than 40 application systems, covering almost all services needed in our airport. We fully applied AI, big data, 5G, and other new technologies provided by the Horizon Digital Platform to build a leading new IT service system. AI-based applications really improve our production efficiency. Our airport big data platform converges source data from 23 systems. And our airport cloud data center improves the computer capability by 6 times and the storage capability by 8 times. We are the first to use 5G technology in the industry. By now, we have completed 5G network planning and deployed 25 sites on Shenzhen Airport. We are also the first airport to apply 5G plus 4K in the world. The fifth new achievement have been made, powered by the platform and technology just mentioned. We have achieved transformation in 3 fields. The first change is in flight flow. We are now using a unified map for operation control. We have digitally reconstructed all operation process and built the brain of the airport, an IOC, Intelligent Operation Center. This brain enables efficient collaboration between the airport control, the tower, and the airport operation center, improving ground support efficiency by 5%. Big data analyzed in the IOC enable accurate prediction of 90% of flight arrivals with an area range of no more than 3 minutes. The number of critical delayed flights has decreased by 55%, effectively improving the flight release rate at the airport. In the past, we have to spend 4 hours every day to allocate stands for 1,100 flights. Now, it takes only 1 minute. In addition, the usage of the intelligent stand allocation system has increased the jet bridge docking rate by nearly 10%. This means that an additional 4 million travelers can directly board flights without having to take shuttle bus to remote stands every year. Just on this week, our stand allocation solution has been released on IATA's website, and it won high approval from IATA that said, as the world's first airport that published case study on the next platform, Shenzhen Bao'an International Airport set an example for the industry and give valuable experience for the development of China's civil aviation service. The second field of transformation is security. Aiming for all scenario security, we have deployed a unified network to protect and safeguard the airport. More than 9,500 channels of HD surveillance video allow us to capture footage across the airport in real time. We store the video footage for 90 days and use intelligent application to analyze based on service needs. The intelligent video analysis platform proactively predicts security risk, helping us prevent public safety incidents before they happen. The third one is the passenger flow. We have carried out digital transformation in passenger vehicle service to allow passengers to travel more convenient with a better overall experience. Shenzhen Airport provides end-to-end self-service security checks to improve passenger experience and provide a differentiated experience for VIP passengers. Self-service desk check-in rate have risen to 74%. The new intelligent security check channel improves the efficiency of security check by 60%. the coverage of self-service device at domestic boarding gate is now at 100%. An average of just 1 to 2 seconds is required to process each passenger. Here is one real case. It only takes 7 minutes for 238 passengers to board the plane. The next new is explore new models. Digital transformation is a huge challenge for Shenzhen Airport. First, we implement organizational transformation at the group level. We established a unified IT department to integrate planning, construction, and operation on the Smart Airport project. Second, we adopt innovative methods in project implementation, construction, and procurement phase. Instead of independent projects with many vendors, we choose Huawei as our strategic partner and operate digital transformation as an integral project. We firmly believe that only strong and reliable partners like Huawei can set us to achieve our goal. Third, co-construction and resource sharing was implemented. We work with the government, the tower, the airline, and ground service companies to promote co-construction and resource sharing in smart airport construction. Innovative service model alone cannot guarantee our success in digital transformation. We must stick to our strategy and blueprint. The smart airport development will provide a solid foundation for our long-term interests and development. We must be patient, be resilient, stick to the plan, and convert our vision to reality through continuous step-by-step efforts. Dear fellows, smart airport construction begins with dream and succeeds with actions. In the future, Shenzhen Airport will continue to practice the concept of one airport, one dream, deepen digital transformation, and contribute more Shenzhen wisdom and Shenzhen experience to the construction of smart airport for the industry. Thank you.
Just as digital transformation is revolutionizing how we travel by air, its effects are being felt virtually everywhere. Fintech has been a buzzword for some time now, and we've all heard about Bitcoin and blockchain, of course. But how is digital transformation, allied to innovative ICT, technologies like big data, AI, and Wi-Fi 6, impacting the finance sector in the era of massive data flows? How can it improve financial operations, benefiting both institutions and customers alike? Let's pass this over to Chen Kun-te, former CIO of China Merchants Bank and now Chief Digital Transformation Officer here at Huawei Enterprise.
Hi, my name is Kun-te Chen. Welcome to my presentation. I think this presentation I'm going to share some experience and lesson as a bank, Chinese bank. How can we face the digital disrupt and transform ourselves, become a digital operation? The first page, I'm going to show you that the internet giant. The first column, you can see that the Alibaba is the big e-commerce company. Second one is Tencent, is the biggest social app platform in China. How they develop a new product and disrupt the banking industry. First of all, of course, they start from the payment, wallet, and commerce, and they're using digital way to acquire new customer. In the commerce, through the commerce to get new customer. a new way to promote, right? And in the social media, I think there is very well-known way is using Chinese conventional custom, in the Chinese Lunar New Year, using a red packet. They, using a campaign to grab a red packet and, acquire more than 200 or 300 million customers' wallet account within short period of time. And once you get a lot of customer equipped with wallet account or some payment account, then you can do in the P2P payment. You start to, to connect more merchants because they want to do business in your platform. So you will see start from 2014, they start to sell the credit product and also wealth management product. They start to sell, lending product, and even they, serve more. They provide more services to the merchant, small business, even a large retail business. So I think this is quite significant price to the bank industry, especially in the financial industry. So of course, the regulator find that they actually, disrupt some banks. For example, on the deposit taking, on the lending side, they dismiss the customer contact, from the bank to the customer, because bank using bank card, but right now they're using mobile. People like to use mobile, so the bank cannot fetch to the customer, right? So regulators have several ways to, let the bank have more time to tuning, to transform the bank whole industry to fit on the digital world. You will see that bank is painful and stressing. In this chart, I roughly just describe what happening on the situation we face in the past several years as a banker, First one is deposit, move out to the digital giant, their payment account. Actually, it's pseudo. And second one is you can find that the e-commerce and social platform, they can create a huge closed-end ecosystem. They can have individual customer, they can have retailer customer, start from retailer, okay? And then extend to their supplier. And using technology, by new technology, can create a closed-end ecosystem. So you can find that we have, e-commerce closed-end and social app closed-end system, actually. They dominate around 95% of the mobile payment in the Chinese market. So, bank to bank clearly even move to the ecosystem. So finally, the regulator changed that way. Okay, we create another company called NetUnion to let all the digital company have to connect to NetUnion and then to the bank directly. All right. So what happened to the customer? The customer using mobile a lot because they are so innovative. Their feature is fun. Their contents is always very innovation. Always have new way, right? So the customer do not using bank card. They do not using cash. They're using the mobile. So the very important thing is we will lose the customer contact point. You lose the chance to create your brand to the customer. So it's very important to the customer, to the bank. How can you, serve your customer, to acquire the customer, retain, upgrade, migrate your customer. So this is very important to us. I think another way is, which we probably do not see, is the e-commerce company and all the social platform. When they include the merchant business, corporate business into their platform, you will see that they're doing some supply chain, corporate finance. Sometimes they have more information and more quick information, hot information compared with the conventional bank using financial report to deal with the credit underwriting and do the financing sort of things. So you can find that digital actually disrupts a lot of things, even the wealth management, okay? This chart, I'm going to show you that what's happening on the real world. On the left side, you can see that the individual customer, right? They have mobile phone. Within the mobile phone, there are several, very top leading apps, which you can see short movie. We call it Douyin, right? It's TikTok in the outside world. And you have e-commerce, food delivery, and also banking, social, transportation. From an individual's point of view, they are separate apps. In the reality, is every ad linked to the cloud, right? Cloud is connect all the, business, merchant, restaurant, connect into the digital world. You can see on the right-hand side. So conventional bank, we separate the retail and corporate banking as a separate unit. But in the digital world, they all connect together. You cannot separate this one. So we have to think about that. How can we do business within the new era, right? The connectivity, always connect, connect each other, connect all the entity, even in the future, connect to the things. So we need to change our, thinking and the way to do the financial business. In the next page, from the reverse world, you can see that there are so many businesses, right? They fight for the individual customer. Smartphone is only a very small screen. So how can be a top app of the users? It's just like the main bank, we always say, main bank of the customer, right? Now it's the main apps to the customer. In China, due to the technology, moving so fast, innovation so fast. So in China, now we have called it a super app. The super app is the customer using that app can do most of their things just using one app. It's very similar to the web, right? Using web, you can get into any business around the internet. In the mobile world, one super app, you can reach a lot of services. So for example, in WeChat, you're using WeChat, you can do the payment. You can do the PDP. You can do social. And WeChat have many programs. We call it mini program. It's just like, applet of the, Java virtual machine. So once you provide the mini program to the merchant side, so millions of merchants can develop their mini program. So they can sell their product on the WeChat. And they can integrate the online, offline, combine this. So when the customer go to your physical store, you can use a mini program to take the order, carry the process, a lot of things. In restaurant, you can make the order, So super app is quite unique in China. And why become super app? It's because the app include the payment features. So most of the business still can, within one cycle, just one app, complete everything. So from this chart, we can see that technology actually impact a lot of the business operation. So as a bank, how can we leverage this kind of technology and do our digital business? So I think this is my view to how can we transform as a bank. Obviously, app is very important. So I come back to app, using app stage to separate that, say, how can we transform ourselves to a digital world. The bottom side is most of the bank that treat the app as one of the channel. But you see, if you do this way, you will find a lot of features which you do not use it. A lot of technology, you never use it. But the internet company, internet giant, some super app, they're always using app, new capability, new technology to deliver new services, new experience to customer. So we have to change this. We have to upgrade our app into an engaged platform. So all the services, not just a channel, you can engage to the customer. I will show an example in the later, you will find that. Because app actually is qualified. And all the connection, just like a super app, you will see as a bank, we have retail customer, we have individual customer, we have corporate customer, We have business customer. Should we connect all this together? As a bank, I think you have chance, you have opportunity to become a platform, become an ecosystem, to provide a portal, payment services to link the retailer and link the business corporate customer together. Okay, so this chart, I think I still come back to emphasize app. You have to equip with some digital technology. For example, social platform, I think instant messaging system, it's become more easier to develop. It's not just say, I create a social platform, but it's a technology allowed you to develop the engagement platform between banker and customer and your customer, individual to the corporate, right? E-commerce, you can, because bank already equipped with the payment, we have financial information, so we can have your customer, corporate customer, retailer, industry customer, to serve the individual of your individual customer, right? The design is going to be gamification, using short video. You can very easy to create short video, just like TikTok, right? Douyin, right? So the banker can do this, their contents. How can we using technology to enable this, So I think app have to equip with all the new digital technology. Your app will upgrade your business, get into the digital world. My personal experience in the past several years in China, I think I summarize there are 3 major actions. Maybe have some different kind of experience. The first one is some other lessons, so I'm going to say is like that. So you have to migrate your bank card operation and also your cash operation, right, to the mobile app. Because the mobile always, connect to the system. It's come with every customer. So when you change the mobile to the app, you will see a lot of mobile application function and features, which is very, very rich, can improve a lot of experience. On the other hand, you also have the opportunity to create a closed-end ecosystem. So you have to transform your bank's operation. I believe that usually the bank have a lot of back-end system. They focus on the bank card operation. You have to be. I think you better to prepare for the mobile app to streamline your back office as well. Another way is when we design the transaction, this is the conventional way we will extract, because the system in the past, system is very expensive and we have to maintain the system very stable. So we pretty much focus on the transaction. But in the digital age, in the digital era, you will see the customer always carry your mobile phone, right? You have to make your app. It's very simple and easy, good experience to the customer. So you have to using customer journey, using this way to design the whole banking services, whole transaction, whole financial services, not just focus on the transaction as before. The last one is very important is app actually start from the user. You can, I think if you benchmark the fintech giant, you will see that app is the first contact, it's the first touch point you get the customer. And then you can, through the engagement, interaction, to cross-sell, migrate your customer, to open account, right? You can start from very simple wallet account to a regular, principal account, and then wealth management and the lending, that sort of things. So you have to think about that app users, rather than think about the customer. Okay, next, this page, I'm going to show you there's an engagement process. You can see there are 2 screens, mobile screen. We just doing screen recording. On the left-hand side, right-hand side is the mobile office of the bankers one. You will see this is the customer, right? They send message to the bankers from their mobile office. You can see there is a message coming in, right? So let's move on. See? In the bankers, mobile office application, you can see that he can, directly interactive with the customer. And you will see there is some small characters, right? There was signal to the banker, say their message is sent to the customer. It's being read, So I think it's an instant message technology. And in this demonstration, I just show you that using text and also some photo, right? In the reality, we also provide some voices, engagement, interaction with the customer. So you will see that the banker, they can offer some product to the customers. And if the customer wants using telephone to have more discussion, it's very simple and easy. You can touch the banker's ID. They will show the phone. You just click the phone icon, then start to talk to the customer. I think within this demonstration, you will find that all the engaged process, engaged contents, is going to be, we can have this information. So in the future, we can continuously improve this. This is the first one. And secondly, we even can use robotic. A robot can replace the banker, or can be an assistant of the banker in the future. I think the technology is moving first. So you can see you need those kind of platform. Actually, we are not going to do a social platform, support 100 million, even 1 billion customers to do the instant message. But as a bank, you see, it's a small scale and pretty limited. And the technology is cheaper and cheaper, simple and simple, easier and easier. So I think it's affordable to all the bank to do that. And next demonstration, I think I'm going to demonstrate two, ecosystem, how the bank service their business customer, their corporate customer. The left-hand side is a food delivery customer, right? The right-hand side is ride-hailing. It's very popular application. So within the bank's app, let's see this. How can they provide some food services? You can see the icon, right? And this one. So in the cloud, the banking system connect to the, the food delivery company. In this time, we can bring in this content into your app. That's cloud. That's internet, right? So in the 5G in the future, if the connection more fast, more quick, low latency, you will see that the content and the transformation is going to be fast, have better experience, right? And next one is, we can see the, car hailing. Okay. Let's see the car hailing. Yeah, here is my office, right? I want to go to airport. See? And then we get the contents from the car hailing company. Actually, this is a map company. They integrate several car hailing on the map application. So, you can using this to select the car hailing. And this screen is going to show you that, how many third-party services on the app. You can see there are so many things. How can the app become this? It's using super app architecture to do that, right? Okay, let's move to next pages. Yeah, in this page, I just try to describe. Usually, we think we should replace the legacy system as a new, architecture to get into the digital world and to do the digital transformation. In the reality, it's not this. Technology needs to learn new things, need to build new infrastructure. They need time, need to practice, need to start on easier program, easier application, get into more difficult one, more critical one. So first of all, we have to build a private cloud, building a mobile platform, and let the host assistant can open up their features, their functions to the cloud way, RESTful API, that sort of things. And we start to have a team to building the mobile app. They have to learn how to develop new mobile app equipped with some popular digital skill, digital functions, okay? And second thing is that when you get into the mobile app, you will find that there are many, many small tickets. Huge query transaction volume will coming into your system. So you have to upload some query function from your legacy system. And step by step, you can see the stage and do what sort of technology migration. You don't need to migrate this whole things and without recoding, because reconstruct the software. In the digital age, you have to reconstruct all the application, right? Not just transaction, engagement, ecosystem, connection, right? So the second one is when you do very good on the mobile app, you will find that there are so many huge information, huge database, many alternative data is coming up. You need to have very good big data cloud. Usually I would say that, and build a data lake to allow your user can, get using the data. So you need a very good big data platform. I usually say you need a big data cloud computing system. This is, you can separate from your mobile and your transaction process cloud. And the third phase, probably, in the new age, you can start to do more things to migrate more, application, more services from the legacy to the new world, new infrastructure, to the app system. This is my final presentation, my final page. In this page, what I'm going to say is 5G is coming. How can we leverage the new technology, right? You have to, know how to using the new skill, especially in the app. App means you need a lot of technology on the cloud computing, on the big data, AI, lots of sort of things, into your app, just like become a super app. In China, social, e-commerce dominate the market. So bank have chance either cooperate or create your super app by yourself. But in your market, I think you will have some opportunities. Probably you can be a very good super app if you have enough skill, right? So you can connect your retail customer, your retail corporate, retail business, and create an ecosystem. Start from the digital business way, you can even do the supply chain lending, supply chain finance, that sort of things. So 5G will bring in new experience. The bank need to learn how to using new technology, new skill, especially in the app, mobile, because mobile is the most powerful one and moving so fast. Every year have new version of, new power of mobile phone. It's so popular. So we have to have this skill in this. So this will improve your bank to customers engagement. Even just I mentioned, you can using robot to engage the customers. So, and then you will have more data. So you need to using artificial intelligence. And in the future, the IoT can improve your branch background, supporting your branch efficiency in the futures. So I think the telecom improvement, the bandwidth, the connection, the low latency, and powerful mobile phone, new cloud technology will bring in new opportunity to the bank, to the financial institution. You can gain more opportunity to turn yourself, become a leader, leading financial services company in the market. I think this is all my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Energy is the fuel of our daily lives, impacting everything from where we work and live to how we move and how we keep our cities running. The energy sector is critical infrastructure. Of that, there's no doubt. And yet, in this era of heightened environmental concern, we can't be blindly focused on energy generation, not without concern for the impact our activities have. Digital transformation and new ICT can play a really crucial role here. By helping us generate energy smarter and more efficiently, technology is going to allow us to not only cap, but actively reduce our carbon emissions. Let's hear from Liu Jingming, Director of the Expert Committee on Smart Grid Technology and Equipment at China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology.
Hello.
My English is so poor, so I will be.
My English is so poor, so I will be speaking in Chinese. They will translate. Okay. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to share with you on the topic of AI and 5G accelerates digital transformation of power companies in China. Today, I will mainly talk about a few cases of our application. Before that, I would like to talk about the challenges we are facing. China's electric power system and other countries' electric power systems face some similar challenges. What kind of challenges? Well, let's look at this screen. The change of energy. This is the statistics of 2018. In that year, our coal-field power took up 60%. The rest of those were generated by wind power, hydropower. Right now, we are planning for the energy mix in 2030, which will be quite a big change from what it is now. According to our calculation, in 2030, fuel power will take up 47%, and wind power, solar power will take up 23%. What does this figure mean? It means a lot of the places in China will need transmission of those kinds of power, which means ICT becomes highly relevant. What kind of issues do we need to resolve in terms of transmission? Well, from 2013 to 2018, the abandon rate of wind and solar power has been quite high in China. So this is our first challenge on renewable energy. Second, the change of China's energy mix. China's energy mix is quite different from the traditional cases because in our country, 2/3 of the wind power and solar power are concentrated in the northwestern and north part of China, and 4/5 of our hydropower is concentrated in the southwestern part of China. Yet our energy demand is centralized in coastal regions like Shandong, Shanghai, Fujian, Zhejiang, and Guangdong. So it requires long-distance transmission, which means that we have to make wise control. Now we're working on the 1100 kilovolt DC, which will involve a transmission line from Xinjiang all the way to Anhui up to 3,300 kilometers. We work with Huawei on the super long side distance and our OPW fiber. All this kind of transmission requires a sound automatic dispatching system to ensure that the transmission of the energy is stable. And the third is management on the demand side. Our comprehensive energy service involves distributed energy apart from the large-scale concentrated one, and this applies to solar power, wind power, and that means it needs coordination between all these kinds of powers and ways of energy storage. Power distribution is another case in point. In order to resolve all those issues, we need to transmit the traditional energy flow, service flow, and information flow. We say that the current power system means that the ICT technology needs to be combined with the traditional power system so as to form a new one. So this is our third challenge. Next, I will talk about a few cases. The first case is the one in Qinghai. Recently, well, let's say last year, we had achieved 100% renewable energy power supply for a continuous period of 15 days. Qinghai is a region where water resources are very abundant in the summertime, where we can use wind power and solar power. And this year, in June or July, they want to make another step forward to achieve 100% renewable energy supply for 30 continuous days. And below are some pictures of the world's biggest hydro and solar power system, which can guarantee that we utilize 100% of the renewable energy. This is a data center based on cloud service. If you have an opportunity, I suggest that you can pay it a visit. Apart from state grid, a lot of the other power groups managed wind power and solar power are dispatched here. So the data will be analyzed overall here to ensure that we have a very stable power system. This is a very valuable case. And also, the data, solar power, wind power from different sites will be sent to this data center so that it will be analyzed and will be coordinated with energy storage to ensure the stable operations of the power system. And on top, we see that there is some utilization of the big data. So while ensuring the application of wind power and solar power, we can see the change of vegetation in Qinghai and also the change of deserts. In 2012, this was the situation, the area of Greenland back then. But starting from 2013, 14, and 15, we see more and more Greenland, and that is thanks to the installation of solar power. These are real pictures. The second case is about electric vehicles. Just now we'll talk about the demand-side management, the comprehensive energy service. Electric vehicles are also a very important part of that. This is what China has been working on. Internet plus charging pile is our basic solution. It actually involves three parts. The first one is the charging pole, established on the utility pole, and then we have the AC charging pole, and we also have the operation management system. So if you have an application on your mobile phone, which is the third component actually, you will be able to find out where is the nearby charging pole and how many vehicles are there. So we manage these three components together. This is different from the traditional power system. And if you are in China, you can use WeChat, Alipay, or other kinds of payment methods to enjoy the abundant charging pile resources. This is absolutely automatic and efficient. If it's taxis or cars used for home, people would tend to charge at night because after 10 p.m. there's a discount when you charge. So people would choose to use the nighttime to charge their cars. And I would say that this is quite a promising development. In addition, during the peak hours, EVs can also transmit power to the power grid, as it can function as an energy-saving unit. So all those kinds of coordination have impacted how it will evolve in the future. Now let's look at this chart of China's public charging infrastructure operation. TELT is the company that manages the most quantity of charging piles in China. The number is 148,083. And the number 3 on the ranking is SGCC, which manages 87,846 charging piles. And in 2020, it plans to further improve its management and operation thanks to the interaction with the comprehensive energy service. And this is from China's EVCIPA. Apart from this, there's also China's Southern Power Grid and Tesla. Tesla has installed 1,990 charging piles in China. Now let's look at the development of electric vehicles in China. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology forecasted that by the end of this year there will be 5 million EVs. But according to the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, at the end of this year, the number will reach 6.18 million, which is bigger than the original forecast. And we mainly have two categories of EVs. First is passenger vehicle. In 2017, it was 570,000. In 2019, it was 1.06 million. And in the passenger vehicle category, it includes pure EV and hybrid electric vehicle. Most of the EVs for passenger vehicles are using pure EV actually. And we also have another category, commercial vehicle, but the ratio is relatively small. So overall, in 2020, we will see 2 million EVs. And the management of these EVs, as well as the coordination between the charging network and the power grid, relies on a sophisticated information system. That's why telecommunications network digitalization is very important for related enterprises. We talk about the integration of 3 networks. In the future, it could be an integration of 4 or even 5 networks, because there will be further integration between the transportation network and the power grid. The third case is about AI. We'll talk about its application in China. The first one is the transmission line inspection, which involves taking videos, intelligent identification, photo identification. We mainly use drones to inspect those lines, and drones will take a lot of pictures, up to tens or even hundreds of thousands of them. And with the AI technology in the back end, we can do deep learning, heterogeneous computing, plus expertise. And definitely when it comes to expertise, people will learn related knowledge and instruct that to the computers. So this will be a image and video analysis system of the transmission line inspection. With that, we can do a lot. Like if we have defects of the conductors and ground wires, and we can also deal with the defects of metal, hardware, and including the towers. We can also identify defects of the insulators. This way we can ensure the safe and stable operations of our transmission lines. Let me give you an example. If we take a picture, we can quickly analyze that the issue of the pin in this bolt. Think about it, if we rely on manual labor, it is impossible to find out this particular issue among tens of thousands of pictures. So this technology has been applied in many provinces in China, namely the transmission line inspection. Another one is smart glasses, which is different from what I talked about just now, because previously I talked about the drones taking pictures. And for the smart glasses, it is real time. If somebody wears this pair of glasses, he or she will be able to use this glass to see the equipment, and it can be coordinated with the intelligent backend system to see if this equipment is functioning or not. Just now we talked about transmission network. It can also apply to distribution network, and they say that the intelligence level of equipment identification increases by 90%, and the operator's resource allocation capability increases by 60%. And there are also other improvements like the visualization of process management and control, and will further make this more efficient. Currently, it's an increase of 30%, and in the future, it will be even higher. Next, let me talk about power generation, in terms of power plant, let me give you an example of the boiler efficiency improvement in Nanning, Guangxi. We know that coal consumption of power plants is something that we are very much concerned about. This power plant adjusts the throttle by using AI, as AI can provide some of the data in it. But currently, we haven't made it a closed-loop mechanism, and if we do in the future, it will be even more efficient. Let's look at this kind of data. The yellow ones are provided by AI, and on top of them, the data is provided by people collecting information on site. So the operator will receive such suggestion of adjusting the data to the same as what the yellow data suggests. In this way, the boiler efficiency can be improved by 0.5%. So this picture shows the change brought by the adjustment enabled by AI, as it can help to reduce the consumption of coal and improve the efficiency of boilers. Now let's talk about another case of AI application. We know about this epidemic in China, right? Currently, it's almost at the end of the epidemic, and a lot of the enterprises have resumed work in Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Fujian, and many other regions. But the government doesn't know about the actual situation. So the power companies have adopted the work resumption power index. It's a calculation of the power utilization times 50% and the number of enterprises that have resumed work, with that times 50%, and then we get this percentage in the form, we get this indicator in the form of the percentage. We can provide that to the government so it will know about the situation. This morning I also saw the data from Sichuan, so you can see that banks, telephone companies, work resumption rate are quite high. As for smaller enterprises, they are fewer. And how do we achieve that? Well, a few years ago, the power companies have installed quite some smart meters. In Zhejiang, there is a total of 30 million smart meters, and there are 3.7 million devices to collect data. So on a daily basis, it can collect 780 million entries. So we have the history data, and now with the current data, we do a comparison, we'll be able to find out the situation of work resumption. Like in here, it involves the public services, and we will be able to know about the work resumption among more than 300,000 enterprises in Zhejiang. So all the data is stored in the cloud, and we use the historic data as a comparison. With that AI analysis, we'll be able to have a very accurate understanding of the situation of work resumption. Finally, let's talk about 5G. We started some pilot projects in 2017. It was a national project in Jiangsu, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. What were we trying to achieve? Well, we want to utilize the 5G slicing technology. In Jiangsu, we work with Huawei, China Telecom. So this was a case of how we coordinated with each other. We mainly wanted to resolve two things. First is relay protection. We understand that it relies on network slicing so that we can have a fixed level of latency and jitter. This is a wireless way of guarantee. So that's an application of 5G. Another thing is PMU. We know that there's PMU in transmission network, and here we worked on the transmission. We worked on the PMU of distribution network. As it is a distributed power, it involves EVs. solar power, and many others, it has an even higher requirement, and we use 5G to achieve that. And now we have fiber and wireless in our distribution network. They are each other's backups. Last September, SIGRI, the International Council on Large Electric Systems, held its conference in Chengdu. We shared with the participants of our work on 5G. And also, at this conference, we released our white paper. And to make it more exact, it's the D2 Information Communication Study Commitment. This white paper can help to guide the application of 5G in the power system. Finally, I would like to use 2 slides to talk about the trend of smart power grid in China. The Chinese government started a major project or a key project in 2015. So among this document released by State Council, which was released on August 8, 2016, there were quite many key R&D projects, among which the 9th item is smart grid. And the proposed deadline is 2030. It's because we think of it as a long-term plan and involves 3 trends, if you could remember, I just talked about. And we will see the wide application of distributed power, including EV, sensors, IoT. All of those will be interacted here. And we have made our 2030 development goals. You can see this picture here. It involves power flow, information flow, and this is the transmission of power. It's dispatching, it's distribution, and then there is also dotted line, which is information flow. So you can see information flow, service flow, power flow are on the same network. And then it means we will need to have a platform that can help us to support all the information running on it, to ensure it's flexible, smart, safe, and controllable. This picture on top is about the transmission network and distribution network. You can see we're working on the power storage. This is a large-scale power storage, 100 megawatts. We also have distributed power storage, namely on the user side. Well, with this 2030 development goal, this is what we want to achieve. But I personally think that we can do even better than what is said here. I believe that with the development of ICT technology, because we still have 10 years to go before we reach 2030, with the development of the ICT technology, the advance of the power system, the application of IoT, it will be a further integration, interaction, coordination between each other so that we can develop our power system to an even higher level. Okay, with that, I will conclude my presentation for today. Thank you very much.
That wraps us up for the day. We've heard about Huawei's vision for 2030 and explored the impact of digital transformation in the government, transportation, finance, and energy sectors. If you'd like to watch any of our live casts again, they'll be available very soon, right here. And of course, you can also explore these topics and more at e.huawei.com. I hope that I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today.